Okay, well, this is Anza Borrego State Park in California. I'm up in this little rock thing. I don't know. It's got a little eye hole out there I could fall out. It's like total hoodoo mode up here. A lot like I guess like they have in Utah, a little bit like we have in Kamloops, except for made of rock. Anyway, enough of that. I guess time to get started on the review of the month or whatever. And I'll try not to take 10 minutes, but you know how I am. I think my water bottle is freaking up the view. Won't swear. I'll try not to, although I probably will. So yeah, I left November 16th from Kamloops and went up to Quesnel to see my friend Jessica. We went out to the pub and caught the very tail end of the UFC fight where George St. Pierre lost but won or whatever, right? And yeah, I met some cool people. This big dude said I had fair faucet hair, which was pretty awesome. And then we went back to her place, and the next day I left for Hinton. That's where I had a hotel booked, near Edmonton, other side of Jasper National Park. And I was talking to Nathan Bell, my friend, on text, and he's like, dude, it's a skating rink from Jasper to Edmonton, so go slow. It's like, I got this, no problem. So sure enough, Jasper National Park, I hit black ice. Car goes that way, bloop, bloop, 2 rolls. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna die. 2 days of my trip, that's great. It lands in a marsh. The nose of the car lands in a marsh, and I guess the hood, when it got dented on the rolling, caught the water, and right away after the glass broke, and I was like, are you kidding me? Like, because it's the second time this happened in my life that I've rolled a golf twice at that speed. I was like, are you kidding me? Because I knew nothing was injured. And then the water came on my head, so I was like, I thought it was gas, so I panicked because the engine was still on. So I like tried to crawl out the window, my belt was still on, and then like got it off and crawled out the window. It was like freezing, full moon, like total mountain winter wonderland or whatever, right? That killed my car. And then I was like, oh well, I can't go to the hotel. I don't have a credit card. They won't know who I am. I'll just be like disgusting and wet and like messed up. And like they're like, no, you don't have any proof who you are. So I got my credit card, and then my phone was in a cup holder on the dash, and I was like, there's no way I'm gonna find this phone. Like, no way, because there was water up to my knees in the driver's seat by now. I was like, it's probably the bottom there. It's in, like, things were everywhere in the car, glasses everywhere, whatever, right? And sure enough, it's sitting right where my butt was in the driver's seat. That's where it had bounced. So I was like, thank God, got my phone, grabbed a couple other things, and then I had to, like, on this, like, the ice was like too thin, although it was like that thick, too thin, because I put my foot on it, it started to go in. So like, I had to crawl to the back of the Gulf and like jump off to like hopefully land on dry land, and I did, and I scrambled up the bank, remembered my flashlight fortunately, waved down first person that came by, some young guy in a truck, and he was like, are you okay? Like, he was totally sketched, even though he was like kind of like a doodly dude. Yeah. And even in his truck, man, he went way slower than I went in my car, so it's totally my fault. I was being an idiot. Roads were worse than I figured, and I paid for it big time. So he got me to Hinton, I got in the hotel, and I was like, what am I going to do? Like, day 2 of the trip, I'm in Hinton, Alberta, my car's in the marsh, blah, 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 blah. So I talked to the tow guys, and they were going to take it to Jasper. So I was like, okay, I'll shower, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Trying not to, like, have too much blood on my clothes, because I had, like, a little cut on my hand, nothing major, whatever, right? Yeah, so I got a rental car the next day, Ford Taurus from Hinton, Ford dealership, and went to the junkyard, got the stuff out of the car, everything I could, loaded it into the rental car, drove to Edmonton like I had planned, and showed up and told Conrad the story. We had dinner, and fortunately, like, he just let me crash his place as long as I needed, and he actually like stayed at his girlfriend's place. So I had my own zone, which was pretty rad after that kind of stress, but I had to hunt down a car now, so I narrowed it down to a Golf, because I knew if I just had any car I'd be there for 2 months. And like, I had this bed that I'll show you later in my car that I sleep in that was cut for a Golf, so like I wanted a Golf because I'm really stubborn like that. A few things about me: stubborn, inexperienced, and ambitious. Deadly combo.